So here is the Depstech DS620 Professional Industrial Endoscope. It does have a nice screen on it. It's much bigger, more clear screen than what my Snap-on one is. I'll show you that. If not, I'm not going to show you that. Snap-on will get mad at me. Anyway, let's talk about a couple things. We've got a 5-inch IPS screen, 1080p, and the 3.0 Blue Art Image Tech. The semi-rigid cable, that's pretty cool because you can kind of form that cable how you want and it doesn't just lay down and flop on you. Anyway, it's also a waterproof probe. That's really nice, especially when you're getting into, compromised cylinders. There might be some coolant, there might be some fuel, oil, whatever. When you're trying to diagnose, let's say, a head gasket, accidentally stick that end right into the coolant, it's not going to hurt it. And of course, it's got a lithium-ion battery and it's rechargeable. So I'm going to get this thing out of the box, show you a couple little videos on that, and then we're going to dive into sticking it in the engine and finding out just how good this little endoscope is going to be. So hold on just a sec. Okay, so here she is unboxed. You get yourself a nice little owner's manual. You get a charging cable. You get these little thingies. Not sure what they're for yet, don't care. In my application, I'll never use them. There is the handheld, and then this is either a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to show you. Look how long this lead is. It's all coiled up and going all the way back around. I bet you this thing is probably close to 10 feet long. Probably a little bit longer than what we'd need it to be, but whatever. It is what it is. So I'm going to crawl up there, get this thing imaged into a cylinder, and show you what she looks like from there. Hold on a second. Okay, we've got her stuck down here in cylinder number 2. Now, I'm hoping this image is going to show up really good on here, but what you're looking at right there is intake valve for cylinder number 2. Look at the amount of soot that is built up on that valve stem. And you can see how it's built up pretty good on just the surfaces inside of that intake as well. That's inside of the head. But that's a nice clear image. I don't have anything bad to say about it. Now, I believe we can go through and lower the amount of light. Turn the light off. We don't want the light off. Let's turn that light back up. Gives you a lot clearer. Now, there's also a side camera on this that we can look out the side of the scope. I'll show you that when I pull it back out. But it's a pretty cool little tool here. In an instance where we wanted to see inside of a piston on this, of course, it's a diesel, so we would have to pull an injector out. But this actually tells us what the inside of that intake looks like. And in this instance, if we had suspicion or the nut was missing off of that bus bar, we would absolutely be able to stick it in there and hopefully catch it before it goes past the valve and into the engine, which I've been lucky enough to fish out with magnets in the past. But that's what she looks like. That's what we get. There's all kinds of cool settings and functions that go along with this thing. And then here is the end of the scope. And as I turn it around, there is a side camera. And that's also an LED light that focus up on me, so that you could light it out the side as well if you so needed to. Stick it down into a cylinder and turn the camera to the side so that you can see the condition of the cylinder walls. You can check for cross hatching, you can check for marring, you can check for cracks, all kinds of good stuff. At any rate, for the price point, this is a pretty decent little endoscope. I'm also going to include a link so that you can go check it out. This one is available on Amazon, so you'll be able to look at all the cool features that comes with it and decide whether or not you want to add this to your collection. So anyway, that's going to be it for this product review. I do appreciate you guys watching, and like, comment, share, all that good stuff all helps out the algorithm. And hop over to Depstech on Amazon and pick yourself up one. All right, cool. Talk to you later. Alrighty guys, so you see me do the product review on the Depstech dual lens industrial endoscope with the 1080p digital borescope, inspection camera, 7.9mm IP67 waterproof camera with 4.3 LCD screen, 7 LED lights, and 16.5-foot semi-rigid cable. Yes, that was a 16.5-foot cable. Anyway, it'll allow you to put that thing wherever you want and get you back to a safe spot. Let's say you're up on top of a wall, if you're looking up through whatever. There's just so many applications this thing can be used for, more than just working on vehicles, okay? Now, there is a product link that I'm going to put in with this description, and it's a pretty good little deal, you know, especially for the price point of it. Some people don't want to spend a whole lot of money on these things, but some people don't mind spending a little bit of extra money to get really good quality stuff. But this one is pretty decent, so I'm going to go ahead and recommend it, and especially for those that are on a budget. It is a good product, has a way better product image than some of my more expensive endoscopes. So there it is. But again, I want to tell you that I will put the link in there. I'm also going to put a whole bunch of other discount codes for a whole bunch of other stuff, not related to endoscopes, but it is what it is. So I'm going to flip this around for a second. I'm going to show you some more of the stuff about this, and you can see straight off of the Amazon website which product to look for and all of that. So here we are, flipped around. I'm going to show you a couple things about this out of the manual. We got the DS620 from Depstech. Awesome little endoscope right here. Can't complain about it at all. What comes in the box? You get a bag to put it in, the box, of course, the endoscope, 16.5-foot. You get this cool little buggers right here. Now what these are is a hook and a magnet that if you do find something in a hole that you need to retrieve, you can slide them over to the end of that and hopefully bring them right back out. Here's one other thing that I did not talk about. This is not a dual lens. This is a tri-lens. So you get your front lens, you get a side lens right there, you get your LED light and your camera, and then on the other side you have another. Now, what's really cool about that is you can switch. So as you can see, the LED is lit up right there. Let's press and hold this button for a sec. We are now off of that side. You can see by the image. Press and hold it again. Now we're off of this side, and then you can go back to the front camera. All right, so here's some of the specifications. Camera diameter is 0.31 inch, 7.9 millimeters. It's pretty small. You're still going to be able to get down into some tight places. Your best focal range is 1.18 to 3.93 inches. And then on your side cameras is 0.79 to 2.36 inches. You're in a cylinder, man, that's perfect, right? Camera view angle is 80 degrees. Your screen spec is a 5-inch IPS screen. Photo resolution 1920 to 1080. Video spec is 720p. Battery life is 3 to 4 hours. Charging time 3 to 4 hours. Charging voltage standard here in the USA. You're charging at 2 amps, 5 volts. Anyway, this is a really good product, especially with the price point. I know you guys are tired of hearing me talk about price point, but too bad. You get to hear it anyway. I recommend this to anybody and everybody who needs a nice endoscope. Now remember, this thing is not just for working on cars, especially with the 16.5-foot. This thing's going to be great for getting up into HVAC runs. Want to see up in the walls. Let's say you're trying to find out where pipes are in walls or whatever, and you want to run conduit so you can get your data lines for a TV mount. You can put you a small hole down in the bottom, and you can run this up through that wall and find those obstacles as they present themselves. So I'm going to include in the description a link to the product. I hope you like it. Comment, share, all of that good stuff. And we will talk to you on the next one. So peace.